Hello everyone from the Skills That Make GL Mazetten Marifetler Chanel. This is a wonderful one consisting of 3 color threads. We will make 2 skewers booties model together. Very easy. One model consists of only harasho knitting. Those who started knitting for the first time, they can start with this booties model. They can knit color like this really easy. You can use the remaining half threads. In this model you will evaluate. First I will start knitting with my gray color. I'm knitting my rope around my neck. You can start the way you knit. I have 2 PCIE's 3mm swellings like this. Now I'm throwing my loops like this. This is how I throw my loops. You can start the way you throw. I'm doing a pretty loose one loop shot. I will be despised in the future because such a total. Let's do 18 stitches. Yes, look, I threw my loops. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. I had a loop 18 loops. If I say it as a foot number, up to 36, 37 feet numbers. Number of loops for other foot numbers. You can increase the number of rows by 1. Now let's start knitting with 18 stitches. This is the back of my braid. I get the other loops without knitting the first loops. I knit upside down like this. I continue like this until the last 1 stitch remains. I came to my last loop. I knit my last loop straight. I knit my last loop straight. I always knit the last loop straight. I knit it straight like this. I completed the back of my braid. Now I'm on the front of my knitting. This is the front of my braid. I'm getting the first stroke without knitting again. I always take the first stroke without knitting and knit the last stroke straight. Edges appear more smooth. Look at the landings in the middle. I'm knitting upside down. Mimics. I knitted upside down on the back and front of the knitting. And Hiroshi's turn. This is how I create it look like this. I created a 1 language game cue. Now when I come to the last stroke, I will knit the last stroke straight again. I'll take the first stroke without knitting loops. I will knit upside down on the back and front of the knitting. And I will create such 4 rows in total. Let's knit the order of 17 languages. 17th row. Let's wait after knitting from the front of the knitting like this. Yes, look now from the front of my knitting, like this, my last row. I knitted. Now let's count together. I count the popping rows from the front of my knitting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. I knitted a row for 17 teeth haro. For bigger foot numbers, 1 row can knit more. So 18 teeth can knit the turn to haro. Now after knitting his turn to 17 teeth harosh, I'm going to the back of my braid. Now I got my yellow color. I connect my gray color to my yellow color like this. I tied it like this. Then I cut my gray color like this. I'm connected 1 more time like this. Like this. Now I'm on the back of my braid. I'm switching colors on the back. Let's knit the first stroke in color transitions. I continue to knit haros again. Loops on the back and front of the weave. I keep knitting upside down. Like this. Let's complete the cue. I came to the front of my knitting. I also switched to my yellow color. Now I continue with my yellow color. Knit my rows with halos. Look like this. I created the order of 1 tooth harosha. I will row up 17 teeth with my yellow color again. after finishing my 17th row from the front of the weave. Look, I'm going to tie this purple color and cut my yellow color. And I will continue to knit with my boron color. Let's knit 16 teeth poppy row with my purple color again. 17th row. Let's finish our knitting together by cutting the loops while knitting. Yes, look, this is how I completed my row. I started with gray color. I switched to purple after yellow. Let's count my 17th row now with my purple color. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 16. I knitted a row of popping teeth. Now 10 knitting the 7th. I will finish my weave by cutting the loops. This is the front of my braid. I knitted 2 strokes together in reverse. I bought the other bottle of the remaining stroke. I knitted 2 strokes together in reverse. I bought the other bottle of the remaining stroke. I knitted 2 strokes together in reverse. I bought the other bottle of the remaining stroke. I knitted 2 strokes together in reverse. I bought the other bottle of the remaining stroke. Let's continue this way. I have 1 stitch left. For the last time, I dyed in reverse 1 more time. I cut my rope briefly like this. I have completed my braid. Our booties consist of 2 pieces. See the first part, it consists of 1, 2, 3 colors like this. The other part too. Look, this is how we started with our gray color again, in the same way. I started this piece with 18 stitches again. I put on 17 teeth, I changed to yellow then gray. Yellow. Last time I finished it with my purple color again. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 piece. I didn't tell you how to knit it because it was knitted the same way. It's the same because only the color transitions are different. Look, it consists of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 squares. This consists of 3 squares, gray, yellow, gray. I finished it again with yellow purple color. I finished this with purple color too. Who will we go to now? Look, together. I'm setting it up like this. I turn the opposite of both because I sew it upside down. Like this. Look this way. We'll plant it upside down now. Yes, I put my needling thread. I will sew it with yellow color. Me, because look at every piece. There is yellow color. I preferred the color yellow. Now look, purple will be on the same side. Gray color's on the same side. I'm upside down right now. The thorns are still the same. Let them do it this way. They can sew it straight. I'm sewing it upside down. So it's like this. Yellow. I start where it ends. Look here, I'm going to tie my rope now. The trick is, it's just so easy to knit, sewing. Planting like this. We will sew together. Now I turned it to the front like this. I'm upside down, look now. I'm sewing upside down. The reverse side of both parts. I sew the loops that are intertwined like this. I'm walking that rope in between. Look so mutual. I get it from the loops on the inside, like this. Like such a soft braid. 1 stitch. Let's continue like this. I'm going by mutual look. Now we move to other frames. I'm going the same way again. Let's plant it until the end of the yellow. Yes, look, I completed the planting like this. This is the straight side of the braid. The front side of the braid is upright like this. Look. This is how it looks. Now these purple pieces are on this side. We will combine these 2 gray pieces. I'm on the front of my braid like this. Look, I'm putting it on the gray piece. I'm showing you again. I put this gray piece on this gray piece. So I folded that yellow into a triangle. I'm doing it again. Look, I put this gray piece on this gray piece. Again, this is the opposite side. I'm going to start sewing from here, because I sewed it from the reverse. We will sew this part and that part like this. So we will sew two gray pieces together. There is no need for sewing, because this place is already curved in a triangle shape. Now we're going to sew those two gray pieces. Look again, the opposite is here too. The opposite here. I'm sewing in reverse. I prefer to sew this place in gray, because both pieces are gray. You decide for yourself which colors to sew. This way. I continue to sew in the same style like this, taking loops on the inside. I'm sewing. Since this is gray color, it may not appear a little clear to you. See one from here, one from here. I take the loops on the inside and sew them together. I will sew here and sew this part. Let's come this far. Let's come up to that yellow piece. Yes, look, now we have combined this and that edge. We are opposite our paw of the gray piece. Now we combine this place too, look like this. This is the front of my booties, so the straight side is the opposite here. Straight side, looking at me, front side. Now we have that yellow piece. This yellow piece. I folded it in a triangle shape, look like this. I fold that yellow piece and show it again. Yellow piece here. I fold like this. That gray and yellow edge. We will sew these two sides together as much as purple color. I'm folding again. We already sewed these two sides. My needle is here, my rope is here too. I folded that yellow part like that. We will sew these two pieces. The gray side and the yellow side. Let's keep sewing until the purple color. Again, we sew the loops on the inside in the same way. I continue with my gray color, because here I have one gray, one yellow piece. I will sew both with a color. I continue with gray, sinking into the loops on the inside like this. Let's keep sewing until the purple color. Yes, look this way. Now I combine these two sides. Now we finished here, after here. Now I sewed it up to this purple color. My purple color will stay like this. Now we're going that way. On this side, we overlap that yellow and gray color. Look like this. Let me show you how we will sew the sides of them. We didn't do anything here, we always did it on this side. Now look clear here. We will overlap yellow and gray color. How do we sew those two sides? Look where that yellow color ends, where the gray starts. I curled it like this. We'll start like this. I'll show you again. We finally combined these two parts together. We will sew these two sides together, yellow and gray. We don't touch purple color like that. I curled where the two ended. We will sew two colors together, look like this. Let's sew these two sides until the part where the purple color starts. Let's start here. And let's move forward by sewing like this. Yes, look, I combined the yellow and gray edge. Now my purple color is like this. By the way, my yellow color. I needled it, I sew it with my yellow color. Now here we will combine that yellow edge and that purple edge. By the way, I always did the plannings on the wrong side. I say it again, I always sew it from the back of the booties. We are upside down now. Look at that yellow edge and that purple edge. I will combine the two like this. Look, I will sew these two sides together. I was in yellow, I'm already continuing to sew. I'm upside down again. I sew by taking the loops on the inside of each other. Up to that extreme. Those two sides. Let's combine it like this. Yes, look, I sewed these two pieces. This is the worn part. This is the heel side. Like this. This is the reverse side already. Now let's turn the top. Muck, muck. This is how we sewed our booties. Look at the image, it's so beautiful. Standing up to you. I want to show it like this. Look, it's really beautiful, very comfortable, very useful, colorful. Great one bot paw. We saw these parts like this. You can also use it this way. You can sew like this, to these parts. You can also knit flowers or sew pearl beads. Curl back like this. I like this. I preferred to use. I hope you also knit with me by loving and liking. This is how this model. That part of it is so straight. There is a model where there are no end parts like this. If you want it too, if you specify in the comments, I will make a detailed explanation of it in the video for you. By subscribing to my channel, you can follow my knitting and videos. Goodbye.